right, boys, we just got back from a jump-off tournament in Las Vegas this past weekend, literally a couple days ago. If you guys follow my Twitter, you already know this, but we were actually able to win that bad boy. And a big part of it is because I spent, honestly, a ridiculous amount of time the past week and a half, 2 weeks or so, doing a lot of labbing, doing a lot of practicing, a lot of rep games. Big shout out to Sirius for helping me with that. We were able to, but the reason I mentioned that is because in that process, I've really honed in on what is good in Madden 23. And, I do that, I'll do this a few times throughout the year where I'll really lock in comp-wise. And, always give me a little bit different perspective on what the meta is and what's doing good, what's doing bad. Now, for context, the group that I ended up winning was myself, K-Mac, Maze, and Ragusa. And I ended up beating K-Mac on a game-winning field goal in the finals. He actually beat me in groups, but I still made the championship. And I ended up just able to win that game. But yeah, so let's talk about what the Madden 23 meta is. And really, I wanted to mention, what, I guess, what's the right way to say it? Like, if you're not doing some of these things, you are putting yourself at a huge disadvantage in every game you play. The big thing that I really never liked doing this, but I've seen the difference in what it can do for you defensively is, let's say you're in really any defensive set, your safeties are about 15 yards off the ball, right? Move them down. That's the first thing you want to do on a lot of these plays is immediately you break the huddle, move both your safeties down into the box. Even if it's only a few steps, the reason for this is, one, in man coverage, they're going to play a lot tighter. Inside shade's going to do a way better job when you move it down of playing like corner routes. And then two, in zone, there's a big pocket. If your safety's 15 yards back and then he's dropping into a deep half, there's a huge pocket in front of him where you can get thrown at, right? Move him down, and he's going to help close a lot of those windows. He's going to do an incredible job at closing a lot of those windows, especially when you mix in mid-zone KO and deep out zone KO with them. And that kind of goes to my next point of, on top of moving these safeties down, it's going to help, you don't give up much deep, and it'll help take away the intermediate a little bit better. Additionally, a big thing you want is, if you're going to have KOs of any kind, prefer deep KOs. Deep out zone KO or deep route knockout. Now, deep in zone KO does not work. That ability is terrible. It works in a very small area of the field. Not worth it. Deep out zone KO or mid zone, and if you can stack them, preferably do that. It'll make your players, it's a huge deal. Deep route KO, man coverage knockout, right? That is incredibly good. Just because when you move those guys down, you might be losing a step. You might give up, a step in front of or behind them sometimes. But when it's thrown, they're gonna make a tackle on the wide receiver as he's catching it, and he's going to get knocked out the majority of the time. Deep route KOs are huge, whether it's a deep out zone KO or an actual deep route KO for the man-to-man ability. All right, I really cannot underestimate or overstate how big of a deal that is. Next thing, man, is running the best defenses. DB Fire is the best defense in the game. And it's not close. The next argument of thing that you could say, really, in my opinion, would be 335 wide. And I think the difference is so drastic. You can get 4-man come in. You can get the 5-man to come in consistently. And it's so good. It dictates so much of what your opponent has to do. And in this game where defense is pretty hard, right? It's a very offensive-minded game. If you can dictate what the offense has to do just a little bit, right, to be able to pick up you have to be running play action, all right? And that's really your best chance is running a lot of those fast play action plays. If you don't run play action, is going to scream at you. And even if you do, sometimes it still will scream at you, but you have at least a better chance. And again, if you, as a defense, you can dictate a little bit what the offense has to do, it gives you such a huge advantage, especially in this game again where it's hard. It is hard to play defense in this game, right, boys? With that, running play action on offense is a huge deal. It has the best blocking in the game. If you're not running play action plays, you need to against upper tier competition. You have to. I just watched Javi Baez make an insane catch. I'm very pleased. Go Tigers. But no, you really need to. Offensively, man, this game has really turned into, and it's just a fact of the matter, the best route combo in the game is post and a slant going through each other and then just making the read. And then you need to be running play action to be able to pick up that stuff, right? On top of that, audibly around, even if it's just, audibly from trips tight end to bunch tight end or bunch tight end to trips tight end, even something as small as that, it helps so much, and it expands your playbook a ton. It's something that I've always really been against. I hate audibling around. I hate doing all of that stuff. I think for me, it always felt like it made offense less methodical when I would audible around, because I was kind of just calling money plays instead of like really thinking about the defense. And that's just the fact of the matter, though, is that's the best plays in this game are, money. This Madden, money plays have never been better than they are right now in Madden. And, like, we've always had money plays, this play's unstoppable, whatever. That's actually never been more true than literally right now. And I've never really said that before. I've never really felt like that. Money plays are if you have 2 or 3 really good plays from bunch tight end, and you have 2 or 3 really good plays from trips tight end, which is kind of how I've based my tournament around, you're going to move the ball at a very, very, very high rate. You just are. It's just too hard to, it's too hard to stop that. I heavily recommend learning 2 different formations. You don't have to learn them in and out. Just learn them a little bit, right? That's what you have to. And again, I think trips tight end to bunch tight end is like my favorite, or bunch tight end, trips tight end back and forth is my favorite right now. I run a little bit of gun tight as well. But yeah, I think that makes such a huge, huge difference in your game. And again, I kind of want to circle back to this idea, because I kind of really overestimated it before, or underestimated it, is moving those safeties down, man. Moving those safeties down on defense just a few yards. To me, it really makes just a world of difference. Like, it's actually hilarious how big of a difference it makes. And once you do that, you're good. It just gets your zones to play more. It's setting your players up for way more success. I've also become a fan of Acrobat, but I wouldn't really say it's a meta thing. I just think Acrobat has really big play potential, and it's worth the trade-off of Acrobat sometimes being really bad, in my opinion. But again, that's really what I'm seeing in the current meta. A lot of people are running the ball on dollar. The best run plays in this game are not from under center. They're from gun bunch tight end. They're from gun tight offset tight end. They're from that type of stuff. Don't go under center trying to run the ball in this game. It's just not that good. Very few runs under center are even above average. Whereas a shotgun, a good amount of runs are pretty decent. All right. So if someone's not pinching their line in dollar against you, run the ball. You should. It is really, really good. That's just one of the better ways to attack dollar. So that's kind of what I'm seeing as the meta right now, boys. I'm going to break down some more of my games here coming up, assuming I can get that footage from Jump Off, break down my wins, break down my losses from that. Again, I'm super happy we were able to come out with a W. So thank you, y'all, to you guys for being able to be, I don't know, feel like you guys helped me. But yeah. You enjoyed the video, subscribe. We're almost at 9K right now, actually, on this channel, which I'm very excited about. I also get this question a lot. Civil, why do you post on Civil Premium and not Civil anymore, your original channel? And honestly, the answer to that is easy. I love being able to kind of go with very raw content. This is just me talking, right? And I wanted a place to post that. Same with raw gameplay and stuff like that. I wanted a place to post that. And I want a place to post daily, but I didn't want to mix that in with very high quality, high edited videos. And if you watch Civil, my main channel ever, you'll know that those videos take me forever to do. And I didn't want to have one channel where I did super raw, every day, and then the random high edited video. So it's just 2 separate things. Reason I haven't posted on Civil in a second, really, is just because I've had my time been spent elsewhere, really recently, honestly. I want to start posting on there again soon. But yeah, that's literally why. I still that's still a channel of mine. Yeah, I get that question sometimes though. Yeah, boys.